This one at 6-1. This match is for a spot in day 2. Brad has not lost since last time we brought him onto camera, and he's up a game here. Avery starts on Elvish Mystic, and it's a colonnade here for Brad.
I gotta figure that Terminus is pretty good against this Elf's deck. 4 copies in Brad's deck.
Okay, 4 Terminus.
And 4 Hieroglyphic Illumination. I love this deck list. Oh. This is my new favorite modern
I want
deck.
to play this. I own 4 Hieroglyphic Illumination. I could play this.
Terminus is cheap. They reprinted it like 4 times for no reason.
Yeah, I already have them.
Nice. You're good to go.
I don't have colonnades.
You're less good to go.
And a bunch of elves from Avery. It makes 2 Heritage Druids into an Archdruid, and the Archdruid is going to get hit by Path to Exile. In response, Avery taps it for 4, casts Collected Company, and we're off.
Looking for like double Shaman of the Pack.
Oh no, how about it gets dispelled?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a big win. All right, so now we're still with 3 1/1 creatures.
That was unexpected.
Yeah, that's something that I had mentioned earlier when we've looked at players sideboarding against Collected Company decks, that 1 or 2 copies of Dispel, they're a big game in matchups like this.
Lead the Stampede from Avery. Shows 3 lands and 2 Azuris.
Yeah, that's not ideal Stampede leaders.
Yeah, I hit 2 creatures. And they're legendary. Unfortunate one there on Avery's side.
Wondering what the pausing was because you get all creatures. He's not... I don't know if maybe he wanted to leave 1 in the deck. If he could shuffle it back in and then company into it. Yeah, because there's no Court of Callings here.
Well, Bradley continues to meet him at every turn. Then, after the Dispel path turn, makes timely reinforcements, 3 blockers, and it goes up to 24.
I think this is the first time I've seen the Aaron Barrett Soldier token on camera.
I believe that's true here as well. Timely reinforcements, though, that's a card that makes a trio of Aarons. And we'll see another company from Avery. Maybe this one can do better. Llanowar Elves, Elvish Mystic, and that was not good.
These are not.
and Heritage
More
Druid.
1/1s. More creatures that engage in combat with soldier tokens.
You know, for 2 companies and a lead the Stampede, this has not worked out.
And that's kind of the nature of these cards.
Yeah.
They miss sometimes.
Here's Azuri. But he has a lot of mana as he passes. So if he can dodge a Supreme Verdict here.
And a Terminus there.
Yeah. Brad says go. He does have an overrun waiting.
And there is 1 Settled Wreckage in the main deck as well. That's another one to dodge.
Looks like tap draw. Cryptic Command from Brad. Avery just, that'll happen. Plays a tapped land, says go. Brad continues to check for Terminus. Not yet.
It would be a nice one to find.
Yeah.
Ooh, at 5 mana, he could even cast Hieroglyphic Illuminations and find Terminus. Powerful magic is afoot. Oh!
Oh, yeah.
Do it.
Draw 2, drew it.
Oh,
okay.
Well, he did his best.
And now that
he's facing a lot of damage.
He might, yeah, his best may not have been good enough here. We'll see. A swing. Well, leaving back 5 mana, swing the rest. No regen up.
I wonder what this could mean.
So it's 6 power currently. The pump will be for 15, so it's 21 with trample.
Yeah.
3 blockers will go to 6 or to 3. I don't know.
Yeah, you can block or not.
Doesn't really change the clock to you much.
Yeah, so the 3 life, it won't protect you. You would still lose to a Shaman of the Pack on this turn. Yeah. Though gaining the 3 life over time, if you're able to reset this board, which you'll really have to do to still be in the game, then at 6 life, you're more insulated against a future Shaman of the Pack.
And Avery just activates, so Brad should drop to 6 on this.
All right, yeah, with the overrun, you're safe against the Shaman on this turn anyway. So you're just going to go to 6. And now you just need to find Terminus. You need to find some kind of sweeper. And you have a little bit more life to play with.
And pass back to Brad. See what he can do. Knocks the top card. Negative. It is 6 lands.
It's a lot of lands.
That is not going to play. We're shuffling up for game 3. Yeah, that's an unfortunate setup. That's a lot of lands.
Right.
Looking at their sideboards, not actually too much on Brad's side. Cards like Lyra and Baneslayer Angel, I don't expect to be in from the sideboard here.
Yeah, Elves just generates too much damage.
Right, like that board, Lyra wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah, I mean, you minimally get to, if you set up to overrun twice, that's a big deal. But minimally, you can overrun, leave the Azuri back, and just regenerate whatever is blocked. You can potentially get in for more damage.
Yeah, you still, instead of getting in for 18, you get in for like 8, which is still huge.
Right.
We did see the Dispels out of the sideboard for Brad Bonin. A little surprising because, well, you mentioned that you like having Collected Company being the only instant in Brad's deck.
Yeah, it's just the power level of Collected Company is so high. I usually, when I have Dispel on my sideboard, I like bringing in exactly one of these matchups. If you brought in 2, I would not begrudge you. I think that is totally reasonable just because of how important that Collected Company spell is.
Now, on Avery's sideboard, he has 4 Thoughtseize, and we did see those come in out of the board. We also saw him cascade over a Relic of Progenitus, which is in the sideboard. You don't see it here on the screen, but he has registered it. And
big fan of the Thoughtseizes in Avery's sideboard. Now, they don't protect you against Miracled Terminuses, which is a pretty big deal.
No, Avery's had a little bit of spice here. His main deck has 1 copy of Throne of the God Pharaoh.
Okay.
Do you know that one?
Yeah, I know the card. I was just trying to think of the spice that would be. It's kind of like paprika. There's not a lot of flavor to it. It's
what? Paprika? I love paprika.
It's just a decoration. It's practically sprinkles. It's like main course sprinkles.
Oust gonna be hit onto that Elvish Mystic.
That is a nice one.
I mean, I also like sprinkles. I have those in my
They're very festive.
cupboard.
Nice. Yeah, it's just like Throne of the God Pharaoh, it's good when you're executing. I suppose if you resolve it against specifically Cryptic Command, that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, that's true. Stops you from being cryptic. Avery will reload here. Looks like Elves of Deep Shadow, Heritage Druid, he passes.
Are we going to see a Miracle Terminus or what?
Yeah, well, we signed up for that. It's going to be a letdown. Avery, this is the turn he redraws the Elvish Mystic.
Yeah, this is one of those matchups where Oust is just pretty backbreakingly good.
Yeah. Took away his 1-mana creature and basically cost him another draw step down the line. Here is Thoughtseize from Avery.
Ooh, off of Elves of Deep Shadow. Love it. Yeah, no lands that could cast that one at this point in time.
We see Baneslayer Angel, Hieroglyphic Illumination. So he has gone for the Angel. Path to Exile, Cryptic Command, and Teferi. A lot of big cards here, and actually no more lands. I'm a bit surprised Brad didn't cycle the Hieroglyphic in response to this based on the hand he has.
Right. Yeah, that looks to be pretty clearly the take from this hand.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason you wouldn't cycle it then is if you want it to be taken.
If you just hit land, the hand shapes up in a really nice way.
Yeah, even if you just hit land that's a blue source, you're pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, on Avery's side, I'm inclined to take the Hieroglyphic. With the Hieroglyphic, Brad can both cycle it, or if he doesn't have the land drop, if he hits the land drop 4, then he will hit land 5 thanks to it. There's a lot. It's hard, right? Because of all these cards, like the Hieroglyphic is the least powerful of them for sure.
Right. Yeah, Thoughtseize is all about context.
He decides to take Path to Exile. Just leave Brad with only the expensive cards.
Yeah, that was the only other, quote, castable card in the holdings. With the mix of Baneslayer, Teferi, Cryptic Command, removing one of those doesn't really appreciably change anything.
And here we go. Avery then will cast his entire hand. It's more elves and then an Elvish Archdruid. Go to Brad. He cycles the Hieroglyphic. Draws. Did he hit a land? No. He did hit a Detention Sphere. Decides to take 2 Heritage Druids with it.
Yeah, there was an argument for just hitting the Archdruid, though.
Yep. So it's a swing for 6. Brad to 13. And another Elvish Mystic says go. Brad still looking for that land. Timely Reinforcements goes to 19 and makes 3 1/1s.
This means that the Archdruid will have to hang back on this turn, so that's worth something. Still no land, still no Terminus.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to be concerned, right? Because if Avery draws a Company or a Lead the Stampede or an Azuri, this gets out of control quickly.
Yep.
Swings in. Brad takes 4, goes to 15, and it's another Heritage Druid for Avery.
Deck's pretty good at producing 1-mana 1/1s. So when you're in the market for those, you're pretty fine.
And there's a land for Brad. It's Flooded Strand, says go. Still at 15, he has Cryptic Command up. And he will just go ahead, upkeep, tap, draw on Avery. Take care of all that mana before Avery draws something like a Company.
Right, yeah, this taps off of the mana for that, just 3 lands on the battlefield. So good timing on the Cryptic there.
And then he says go. He just goes and go ahead and draw your card.
Right, pass priority.
Avery will make Relic of Progenitus. Goes ahead and cycles through it. And he draws another land. And Brad, close to, if he has a land, he can have Baneslayer Angel.
It's like he has Island of Celestial Colonnade. That's 2 lands that don't allow him to cast Baneslayer Angel this turn.
Oh, you're right, he doesn't.
Just 1 Plains so far.
Yeah, just 1 Plains. We can cast Teferi. Now, I'm interested to see if he'll draw. I almost, because he has Baneslayer, was wondering if he would tuck away the Archdruid and just kind of accept that Teferi would be down. He's at 14, so that might be a little too aggressive, right? Like, he doesn't need to do that.
Yeah, it takes all 4 creatures coming across the Teferi to actually mow it down, because you have the Soldier token to still just chump block one of them.
Yeah.
So you gain a good amount of life this way.
Well, it would actually be a trade if the Lord was gone. And now he's going to pay for it a little bit. Here's Azuri, drawn by Avery. He might be dead.
Yeah, so the Archdruid can just tap, and that'll
Taps
be an
to
overrun. So you have 3 5-power creatures and 1 toughness a blocker.
Yeah. Do you even send it to Teferi? Just go all at Brad?
It looks lethal. I mean, Brad has to have something, and a few cards in his hand.
And he doesn't have it. The Azuri off the top wins, and Avery Sigle takes the win, moves to 7-1, and he is into day 2.
I don't know if Brad